Welcome back, everyone, for more Generator Rex Unveiled. It's been a while, but diving headfirst back into Generator Rex, we'll be explaining one of the remaining villains of the series and getting a deeper understanding as to what makes them an antagonist to Rex. In the last video, I spoke about Van Cleist and how eventually he was crossed by Breach and sent back in time. What additionally happened was Rex took a 6-month time skip, and when he got back, nothing was the same. But before getting too deep into the video, why not leave a like on it? We're dangerously close to 2,000 subscribers, and every single like helps the channel get seen more by fans of the show and fans of the shows that we all talk about. But anyway, moving on. At the start of Season 3, we find Rex's world upended after being out of action for 6 months. Not only are Agent 6 and Doc Holliday MIA, they went looking for Rex after he disappeared into Breach's, Breach. Providence agents now draw guns on Rex, Cesar's grown a beard, and most important of all, White Knight, the director of Providence, has been replaced with a new authority, and our villain for today's video, the Black Knight, or simply Black Knight. So to understand how Black Knight became director of Providence, we have to re-examine the last episodes of Season 2. It's shown White is stressed, almost worried about meeting the board's expectation. The board is of course the consortium, the people, as I've mentioned in previous videos, that have always funded Providence in order to, gain immortality. Rex could not believe that so many things had changed, including the fact that Six, Dr. Holliday, and technically Bobo were missing. In spite of that, Black Knight mentioned that it was great to have him back. Here we get our first hint at Black's personality. Rather than treat Rex harshly or try to limit his freedom, Black on the contrary treats Rex with respect, nigh admiration. In this way, we see Black simply wants to have the benefit of Rex's abilities without all the superpower teenage fallout, which is a direct contrast from how White tried to deal with him. It's revealed White actually attempted to lead a coup against the consortium's appointment of Black Knight as head of Providence, going as far to have a final stand and blow up Rex's room before faking his own death and going undercover. Black shows what Rex can only label as trust, going as far as to allow Rex free reign on his mission, something he dubbed as responsibility. And it also seems that everything was going well until Rex notices Bobo, while present, is acting a little bit different. But back on Black Knight. We now know, first off, Black Knight was one of the people allowed on site at the original Nanite project. But it's never said, as far as I know, what she was doing there, whether she was hired help or simply some mercenary. But even back then, it's just shown she had the same look in her eyes, a look that I label as ambition. Now, if you remember from previous videos, the Consortium, a group of elites who funded Providence in the original Nanite project, in exchange for their vast access to resources, they kinda were promised immortality. However, the initial test with Rex Salazar convinced them that nanites had even more potential. To this end, they had the project scientists further experiment with the potential of nanites as a weapon, providing their mercenary operative, Black Knight, as another test subject. Fast forwarding to her rise in Providence, we're told that during this new change of leadership, White Knight refused to give up his position to let the enemy be in charge. Once again, the enemy being the consortium and their plan to restart the Nanite project. And spearheading Providence was their newly appointed Black Knight. Now, as a former mercenary, Knight is a formidable foe, having total control over her subordinates and is seemingly a master of strategy. Ruthless and willing to do anything in order to gain power, unlike White Knight, Black enters the field on a regular basis and is more than willing to engage in direct combat. However, it's clear Black is far smarter, as we can see she prefers to manipulate and kinda talk her way out of situations. First with allowing Rex free reign, knowing it'd be simpler than trying to control him. Next with her handling of the Garoon set event, cause she literally talked him down and then stabbed him. Here we see Black is no stranger to getting her opponent to drop their guard so she can deliver a fatal blow. She's incredibly thorough in her actions as well, like when she destroyed centuries worth of artifacts and brilliant science after telling Doc Holliday she wouldn't. Why? Because she found out that Van Cleist was responsible, whom once found she instantly recruited to bolster the new Nanite project. Black Knight is incredibly good at manipulating not only those around her, but the narrative itself. One thing I like to talk about is how Black kinda revamped Providence. Under her control, Providence had almost defeated the Evo issue. By having Cesar create the control collars, Knight pushes the docile Evos as a form of community assistance, or kind of making the best out of the Evo situation in my opinion. While doing this, Knight implemented a large portion of new agents as well, the Black Pawns. Though similar in appearance to the average Providence soldier, the difference is they're all incredibly skilled, capable of facing off with Rex, the Pack, Abysses, and even against Six until he realized they were robots.
What's so funny? I hold back against people. You're not people.
The Black Pawns were capable of single-handedly manhandling Evos and would collar them, thus adding to their own forces. The Pawns led an assault on Abysses doing this, and without Breach or Van Kleist, even Beowulf, Scalamander, and Cersei were all captured. All of this at the orders of Black Knight. And to this extreme, she had the entire castle in Abysses pulled from the literal foundation, where she basically called it as culling the infestation at the root. Moving past her leadership ability and overall mental prowess, she is skilled in a large variety of weapon usage and has incredible athletic ability. Like similar to Six due to his mercenary training or enhancement, she's fought hand-to-hand with Evos, on one occasion crossing weapons with Six, and has been on par with Rex if not better several times. She was capable of beating White in his power suit, which showed in previous episodes allowed him to throw vehicles and tank damage from building-sized Evos, and even destroys White in his bigger mech suit that was designed to fight against Rex. Black Knight is not only a dangerous person and highly skilled mercenary, she is an Evo. And factually speaking, her powers are an updated version of our own protagonist. Yes, Knight has machine construction abilities similar to Rex, but her weapons take on an eerie cyberpunk-like purple glow. As she put it, she was also an early test subject of the Nanite project, but she describes Rex as a guinea pig and boasts that her own abilities are an improved version, a finished product if you will. While using her Evo powers, she has glowing eyes and luminous marks on her face and body. There are several noticeable differences from Rex's builds. Apart from being entirely composed of purple energy like I said, her whip does not require a generator on her back, and she has a tiny little club at the end, bearing a similarity to her personal energized mace. Her version of the BFS is shorter but energized in making it stronger, and the final difference is that her slam cannon does not require ammo, shooting an indefinite amount of lasers. And after absorbing the power of a Meta-Nanite, her Evo abilities were greatly enhanced, and appearance-wise her builds became almost identical to Rex's. But to inherit the power of the Meta-Nanite, we see that Black had to dethrone a consortium member, specifically the Russian oligarch Dmitri, who, for lack of better words, fucked around and found out. You see, Dmitri, along with most of the consortium, constantly belittled Black Knight, downplaying her competence and on simply the basis of her as a woman. They called her little lady and were always threatening her position and status constantly. So after Dmitri makes the mistake of trying to flex his power on Black Knight, she kinda ends up leaving him 6 feet down, and like the pawn he was, she assumes his slot for the Meta-Nanite. Here, Knight and the rest of the consortium become, outside of Rex, the strongest Evos on the planet. With the Master Nanites at their disposal, though not fully integrated, they launch an assault against Rex, which surprisingly fails. In my opinion, Rex shouldn't have been able to fight all 4 of them. He could barely take Black Knight in her partial transformation form, but after deciding they never beat Rex alone, with Black Knight at the helm because her Master Nanite was that controlled technology, they literally form Voltron, or if you don't get the reference, a giant mech.
Are you gonna join together to make a robo-mutant?
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Here, once again, through using the current circumstances for her game, Black has become the de facto leader of the consortium and the only one capable of combining their abilities. From merely a pawn to a knight to essentially the queen, Black Knight evolved to take advantage of any situation she found herself in. Which is why even in the end, after Rex gains the true power of master control of the nanites, Knight is shown leading the remaining consortium members away from Rex, claiming that if they want to keep any fraction of their powers, they'd follow her. So overall, similar to Van Kleist, if Generator Rex were to ever do a full reboot, we would see Black Knight as an antagonist again, hopefully. Black Knight, while only present for Season 3, was shown to rightfully deserve the authority appointed to her. I absolutely love everything about Black, from her killer theme music to how she always kept calm while dealing with extreme situations, and kinda how she got her one-up on the board after they severely disrespected her in so many different situations. Black Knight may well have been able to take over the world if not for the melanin of those damn Salazar brothers. Thanks for watching another episode, everybody. I know I've been kind of absent as of content for the last month, but the flame must never die out. Remember, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you like what I'm doing here and on the channel, and most importantly, stay sane and stay safe.